What's motivating you is the stories I'm telling you about what I did in my life. Once I stop living that, I'm no more. And it's hard. Nothing is easy. Nothing just like, oh, I wake up and I just do this or I do that, or it just, I watch people every day go through life and it's so easy. For me to be where I'm at today, it takes every bit of me. So when I speak about it, and as I get going here, you'll start seeing me, the tempo will rise, the passion will come out because I'm back there. I'm doing what I do every day to become a human being. So I take a lot of passion in who I am as a person. As you hear, as this podcast gets going and going and going, what you're gonna do is you're gonna transform me from this guy right now that's kind of chilled out in this room, David Goggins, to Goggins. And I had to invent this person. David Goggins is an introverted, soft kid that got beat up growing up, and mindset had to lie to create friends, to get friends, to be accepted. So my life has really been about two people. Very scary, but two people. I had to invent a whole nother human being to get outside of my comfort zone. And that human being became Goggins. Goggins is like the guy that walks out of the phone booth. He's like that Superman that walks out of the phone booth. And I was talking to my fiance today about, it's kind of strange how sometimes I have a conversation between David Goggins, and Goggins will tell David Goggins about the shit he's done. And David Goggins like, what the hell, man? Why are you doing that? That's nuts. So it's kind of this battle between trying to find more of yourself, knowing that the real you is afraid, likes comfort, likes living in a world that likes to pat you on the back, give you the things that you want to hear, not the things that you have to hear to get better. So that's where all this kind of started from. And when people hear this podcast, they're going to hear a lot of things that they're going to want to put a title on me. They're going to definitely want to put a title on me to make themselves feel better. I asked them during this podcast, do not do that. Do not look at what you're going to hear. Put a title on me, because basically what you're doing is you're giving yourself a get out of jail free card. Exactly. That's all you're doing. So all you're doing is saying this guy was some super freak. He found some super thing in his brain that was locked up. He unleashed it and became this guy in lie. Because every day I wake up, I dread the day. I dread the day of what I'm going to bring on myself to get better. Sometimes all the voices are telling you the wrong shit, man. But through years, not a podcast or listening to a book or reading a book, years of sacrifice, of suffering, of diligent, pinpoint fucking work on what you want to do for yourself. Not like, oh, let me just do a bunch of shit. I want to be in every task possible. No. Pinpoint what I want to do with my life. What happens is you have all these voices that are telling you you're fucked up and this is going to be hard. But for some reason, you put so much practice into you that you can ignore every one of them that are telling you you're not going to fucking make it, and still be able to fucking make it. Because you have put the practice in that you know this is the process. It's such a daunting task that all the voices are saying no. But you still have the conviction that I know I can do this. And that's what it took for me to get here. You have a choice to make. Do you want to sit down and go back to that guy you once were? No. So this is what it takes. It takes that misunderstanding of people, and they'll never get it because they were never David Goggins. So that is what it takes for me to do what I do. It may take you something differently. So for me, everything has to be in the studying. Everything has to be into this. Everything has to be in everywhere I am. It has to be there. Me, focused where I am.
You want to quit? Good. That means you're alive. That means you still feel something. But here's the goddamn truth. Quitting will fix it. You think you're the only one who feels broken? You think you're the only one who's tired, lost, ready to throw in the towel?
If you sit in failure for too long, you will never come out of it. So the first part of my success was learning how to fail properly. You have no fucking idea how great you really are. Because you are using such minimal of what you have. It became a way of living. So how I do every day is how I do every day. It's a discipline. It's a regimen. It was a choice I made. And the choice I made was, what are you willing to sacrifice? And what are you willing to give up to find every bit of who you are as a human being? And I was willing to give up everything to do that. It's a difficult motherfucker where you're going to fail and you're going to be in your head. You're going to be saying, I'm not good enough. And it's how you become civilized. The refrigerator gets full. You start making money and you start, I'm not getting cold anymore. I'm retired. At 40, people shouldn't be playing basketball or football or being in, you start to believe this shit. And it becomes in your fucking mind like there's people who are retiring, at 40-something years old or 30-something years old. At 43, I'm still. You lose that fucking fight. You lose that. Why the fuck am I doing this shit? I'm good. You ain't good, man. You ain't never fucking arrived. And that's just my mentality. You may have more, but you never fucking arrived. You want to be uncommon amongst uncommon people. But when you put that practice in every day, you lace them up. And I don't mean run. It's just a metaphor for life. When you lace them, pretty soon you win. Pretty soon you'll win. If you have the courage and the heart and the dedication and the mindset about everybody can go themselves, the heck is going to suck. And that's what I realized. That's what I realized. Life, that's why I wanted to come on here today. I didn't want to come on here and talk about no passion and purpose and how to get out of bed and how to hit an alarm clock and all this catchphrase bullshit. Because that wasn't how I lived. That wasn't how I lived. I woke up like every human being does and go, man, I'm a piece of shit today. How the hell is this going to work out for me? And you fight that. You don't override it. There's no override button. It's the conversation in your head. So how do you do that? We don't have enough of these conversations about the real conversation that every human being is having. And they have no idea how to get out of it, but they do. It's that shit right there, man. You gotta build your will. Most people are missing something because they don't know who they are. They never examine themselves. They've never done this experiment on themselves. The lab rat, we're all lab rats, but you're also the scientist. You create your own self. Most people are missing something because there's so much trapped in there. I don't even want to say potential. I think that's a word used out too much too. There's so much in you that God or wherever the hell you believe in, or if you're an atheist, in you that you have not unlocked. That you walk around with this gorgeous wife or great husband and all this money. You're like, God, I feel like I'm missing something. Yeah, because it's about 75% of you is still in there. Still chained up because you just didn't want to find your willpower. Didn't want to find your soul, your will, your heart, your determination, your guts, your courage. And what that looks like, it looks scary. Like your little scary lab I went in. Scary. 20, 30 years ago, I had this 35 or whatever it was, 30 to 25 years ago, pipe dream. And ever since then, every voice was like, you're a fucking nut. But when you put that practice in every day, you lace them up. And I don't mean run. It's just a metaphor for life. When you lace them motherfuckers up every day, pretty soon you win. Pretty soon you'll fucking win. If you have the courage and the heart and the dedication and the mindset about everybody can go fuck themselves. I know what I know. I've listened to myself enough to know I know what I know. None of you can hear what I'm hearing. And that's what people don't do enough of. They don't listen to their journey. They listen to everybody else's shit. Before you know it, I'm crazy. But if I'm so fucking crazy, why am I so successful? How did that happen? I'm so misguided and fucked up and don't listen to him. Why am I the only one to do a whole bunch of shit? Why am I a trailblazer? Why? How is that possible? How can you be fucked up and also self-made the same? No. Obviously, you're not looking at the truth in front of you. The truth in front of you is it sucks. It's painful. It's fucking mind-numbing. And that is the truth. And that's why a lot of people don't like listening to me, because this is what it takes. Creating another voice and sometimes going at it alone. All the time going at it alone, because no one's going to believe in you. And that's that. To wake up every day and say, I'm stupid, but I want to figure out a way to be smarter. Versus saying, man, I just can't do that. So you limit this box. So your box becomes so small of things you can do. My box wasn't even a box. It was a little pinhole. And then through examining myself, getting some willpower, some courage, it became bigger than this table. But that's what we all do. That's why I wanted to come here today and talk to you about real shit. Why most people don't want to do that, build that willpower, is because it is scary. It unlocks a whole bunch of things about who you are and who you're not. And a lot of people don't want to go down that journey to discover who they are and who they're not. Because it's not a pretty journey. I mean, I've gone down it. It's not like I went down it once. I go down it all the time. And when you unlock that, and you can't just turn it off. Like people say, hey, well, how come you haven't retired yet? I built all this willpower. Do you think it's going to let me just retire because my knees hurt? It's telling me every morning. I wake up like, man, my knees hurt, my legs hurt, my body hurts, but you can still run. So why aren't you running? If you can still run, there'll be a time when you can't lace them up anymore, but you can still run. So I still run. When the time comes I can't run, the body will say, you just can't run. But if I can still do something, that willpower that I have created, it makes me do it every day. And that's what they don't get. What builds a human being is you start with the small building blocks. And before you know it, man, you become something that it doesn't even make sense to most people because it's just who you are now. That's why I can still run at 50 at 49 with broke down knees and broke down body, because my body knows you still can. Therefore, I do. Second you stop, the willpower is gone. A lot of people whose brain, hey, where's my demos? Let me look. They're fucking throwing shit. They're looking through totes. They're all fucked up. So where am I going to put discipline in that mind if I can't find other? You got to be able to find all these different things in your mind. Oh, I can put discipline right there. I can put consistency right there. I can put all these things right there in that spot. So that's what I'm talking about. If your life is not organized, and your life being everything around you, because it takes one little piece of an outside interference to clutter your whole mind. And people don't get that. Your mind has to always be clear. That's why I meditate 2 hours every single night, because I refresh, I reorganize the garage, which is my mind, every night. So then discipline's in there, organization, everything is in this right spot. So when I wake up, I'm ready to go. I studied the black matter of the mind, the dark matter, like Stephen Hawking. That motherfucker studied the space and shit. That's where I consider myself, man. I was on a journey, just like you said. I mean, you couldn't have said it any better. And so many people get it wrong, and I don't give a man. You can't, for me, I cannot help people. There's a lot of cookie cutter shit out here in this world. Oh, discipline, wake up early, take a cold shower, this, that, whatever. It's all fucking bullshit. It's not. But what they don't teach you within the cookie cutter is like our minds are like a fucking garage. And the garage, if you open a garage and it's all cluttered up, it's all fucked up, you can't put your car in there. You got fucking boats and you got fucking kids' toys and shit everywhere. But if you organize that fucking garage and you put everything in its rightful spot, you can pull that car in there. You can put 2 cars in there. You can put bikes in there. And that's like with the mind. People talk about discipline and fucking determination and fucking, repetitions and all this consistency. You know why people connect with my book so well? For some reason, God put me in almost every situation on the planet Earth. So when I talk to people, it's not sugar-coated, because I'm not saying it from I was 175 pounds my whole life. I don't say much to those people. Maybe you're a piece of shit. Maybe you want to be nobody. Maybe you're happy exactly where you are in life, because obviously you are. Maybe you don't have the determination to be somebody better than who you are. And if you want to live with that, I'll support you in that. If you're good with being who you are, that every day you wake up and every day you smell like shit because you can't wash your body well, and your skin's messed up because your health's so bad, and you can't put your clothes on right, you need help with that. You need help, like when I was doing, I need help wiping my ass. That makes you feel good? Nothing I can say to you. If every day you wake up with this, see, people are haunted, but they obviously like horror films because they keep watching the same movie. I don't like horror films. A lot of people like horror films. So I don't say much to them. I say exactly what I said to you, right there. Because I was once you. I didn't like horror films, so I changed it. Some people are just, they become, like you said, it gets real small when you're lazy and you're fat. Your will, their will is so small that they don't have any, and you can't give it to them. There has to be something. This is what I'm talking about now, because this isn't a hack. This has to be in you. Something in you has to wake up. And usually the only person that can wake it up is you. Sometimes you can read a David Goggins book, because I was all this shit and then a lot more of. But if you don't have a little flame, just barely, you're done. I can't light it for you. And that's the harsh reality of this life that I want to get across so fucking bad. You can watch me, you can watch you, you can watch Rogan and Cameron Haynes, all these you can go to Tony Robinson's bullshit, all this shit. You can do all this shit.
It shook you! Good! Because now you're ready to come back! Not as who you were, but as who you were born to become! You finally realized the world programmed you to chase things that don't matter! To scroll instead of build! To party instead of plan! To fake it instead of face it! They made mediocrity look cool and discipline look crazy! They sold you the idea that being liked was better than being great! But you woke up! You saw through it! And now you're pissed off! Now you want revenge! Not on them, but on the version of yourself that let it happen! This is your rebirth! No more games! No more acting! No more playing weak for their approval! You're not here to be average! You're not here to blend in! You're not here to live soft, die broke, and be forgotten! You're here to build, to fight, to lead, and it all starts now!
Don't you think that your happiness is probably elevated by the amount of pain that you've gone through?
100%.
So the amount of suffering that you understand, the amount of pain that you've gone through makes you appreciate the happiness and the beautiful moments with much more intensity.
That's what weak people miss about my story. Weak people hear this soft kid, oh my God, he must be miserable. Oh my God, what the hell's wrong with him? You're missing the fucking story. You're not listening to the story, man. Look what I overcame. If that doesn't put some badge of honor tattooed in your fucking brain for the rest of your life, that you can die today talking to Joe Rogan, you're missing the story, man. Am I happy? What the fuck do you think? Don't misunderstand the passion in which I speak for not being intensely happy. Happiest person in the world. But I'm not done. So I'm not going to speak to you like, oh man, everything is great. No, I have a lot more shit to do. A lot more shit to do. If you could keep going back and keep spending money and spending money and spending money with no results, you can wonder, wow, maybe let me go try out David Goggins. He ain't gonna. You have to explore, examine the insides of yourself. And what do you really want out of life? Your friend, and a lot of people out here just don't want it. So guess what? Have fun with your life. Go from 3 to 350 to 400 to 450 to 500 because you don't want it. And that's the harsh reality. I can't give you shit. You can't give them shit. We can give you ideas. But at the end of the day, when I was losing the weight,
Here's how you unplug and upgrade. Step 1, control your time. Every scroll is a chain. Cut it. Step 2, control your body. Train like your mind depends on it because it does. Step 3, control your mind. Read, think, question everything. Step 4, create. build, produce, make something the world can't ignore. Step 5, stay dangerous, stay disciplined, stay awake. The Matrix will try to pull you back with comfort, with fear, with fake love, with quick hits of dopamine and empty validation. But you're not falling for it anymore because now you're too sharp, too focused, too far gone to ever go back to sleep. This comeback is not just about proving them wrong. It's about proving to yourself that you were never meant to live small. You were built for war, for impact, for greatness. They kept you sedated. Now you're dangerous. Now you're moving. Now you're locked in. So get up, take your pain, take your past, take your awakening, and turn it into power. The Matrix is real, but so is your comeback. Now go break the system, one unstoppable move at a time.
Why people fall off the wagon so often is because their mind is full of shit. There's no room in that mind for discipline. There's no room for consistency. They may do it once or twice, but then the mind takes over and that cluttered garage comes in. And then it's like a circuit breaker, man. The circuit breaker just overloads and it sparks. And our minds, that's our mind, man. It's like a fucking circuit breaker that has so much shit in it. You keep on loading it. You can't put any more into it. So I talk about it in there, man, so much about clearing space in your fucking mind so then you have room for all those discipline, waking up early, taking those, because they do mean something. But we don't get to that fucking dark matter that is keeping you from clearing out that mental garage. I had to miserably wake up every morning in the cold because it was Indiana, November when it started. I was miserable. This is your new life. Take it or leave it. There's no happiness about it. There's no peace behind it. It sucks. It just sucks. And that's the one thing, if I could teach anybody anything, it just sucks. And it's going to continue to suck. And then one day you'll get to a special part in your life that it might get a little bit better. But to lose the weight you had to lose, my friend, sorry, it's going to suck every day. Because then when you're 300 pounds, you're going to go out to lose weight, you could probably get injured. So then you got to work on the injury, and then you get even more depressed. This is what I went through. And then you're hungry because now you're depressed. It's just a vicious cycle. And if you're not strong mentally and you have no willpower, you're going to continue falling back in this hole versus the man that sits back and goes, all right, this is why I cuss, because this is what is in me. This is what it took for me to be me. Sorry. It didn't take, hey, okay, we're going to do this today. No, this really sucks.
Well, this is in the same use of the word that you used, the warrior's mentality, the warrior's life.
Right.
This is the way that you can keep balanced and sane,
right,
and keep a good grip on who you are.
Period. And like there's a quote that was said, this guy said, going into combat, going into war, out of the 100 men that go into war, 10 shouldn't even fucking be there. 80 of them are just targets. 9 do most of the fighting. 1 is a warrior. And it's a true quote to life. I saw it going through training. I saw it everywhere I went. There's so many people who just show up to life that shouldn't even fucking be around. And there's a few people who do all the work. I wanted to be part of that 9, and I'm working towards being that 1.
Too many of you waste energy worrying about what they're doing, what another man is building, what another woman is saying, what your competitors posting, what your coworkers lifting, what your friends selling. You want to win? Worry about your own shit. You want to get good at business? Stop watching them. Start building you. You want to get in shape? Stop counting their reps. Start pushing past yours. You think I became a leader by gossiping in the back room? No, I was too damn busy executing. While they're talking, I'm dialing, I'm learning, I'm leveling up. Stop asking how to win. You know how. You just don't do it. Why? Because it's easier to blame, easier to scroll, easier to hate, easier to watch than to work. But you can't build an empire off excuses.
When I was going through school, I'll never forget, I think I was in 3rd grade. And back then, ADD, ADHD wasn't like, here's this medicine, or here's this thing. They want to put you in a special school. Mm-hmm. So for me, I was so far behind in learning that their big thing was, let's just put him in a special school because he'll never learn. And through that process of like, I don't want to be in a special school. I don't want to be treated any differently. It really, like, I never took medication. I've never taken medication for this. That's why right now you see me looking right in your eyes. What the hell is Truman saying right now? And that's why I don't feel bad for people who have ADHD, who have learning disabilities. And some are impossible because you just can't. But a lot of them you can. But people don't want to go through the process of focus, of teaching yourself how to truly focus. This is where my message gets lost. It gets lost because I may say, MF or F, I may be, because that's the passion that comes out of me, because it takes everything for me to learn a sentence. So when I speak about David Goggins, I can't speak about David Goggins in a way that's just calm and cool. Because when I wake up, I know the journey that it takes for me to find my greatness. This is real, dude. This is real. And every day, I'm set back. I'm set back. I'm set back. I'm set back. So this is what I would tell your boy. This is exactly what I tell him. Every day you wake up, you're going to probably be set back for the first 4 weeks before you lose to significant weight, because of the mind is going to be full time. There's no dopamine. There's no dopamine in there at 300 pounds. You got nothing. Your hormones are shot. You have to envision something that is more powerful than you. Something has to get you out of bed, and you have to create it. It has to be false, because you're not it. Every morning starts with a run. And that's because that's the one thing I hate to do more than anything in the world. So that's like my cup of coffee. And I'm all about armoring yourself. So the second you leave your house, and the second you open your phone, the second you do any of that, you are now letting in poison and cancer. So I make sure a lot of things you can't avoid. So as I get up, I start to armor plate my mind and body. Like a person's going to war, you put your body armor on. That's what I'm doing on that run. I'm waking up and I'm giving myself all this armor. So when I come out in the world, now look at that phone, I'm ready. I'm not waking up late. I'm not rushing around. I'm not disorganized, because I know I'm gonna get hit in the fucking mouth. There's an art to getting hit in the fucking mouth. And that is why these things are important. You have to wake up and you have to give yourself belief. You have to give yourself confidence. So it starts with that run. So after the run, I come home, I eat something small.
How long's the run typically at the moment?
Nowhere under 12 miles. So 12 miles is the minimum.
And what are you getting that done in? How long?
It depends. Right now I'm running heart rate. So I'm doing like 8:15s, 8:30s, because I'm retraining right now. Because
what's that? Is that zone 2 for you?
Zone 2.
Yep.
Because of the leg surgery I had. So I'm going back, starting from scratch. So anywhere from about 1:30 to 2 hours, I run every day.
Mm-hmm.
So
you're fasted on the morning?
Yes.
Up, straight out?
Straight out.
90 minutes to 2 hours of running, back,
yep. Eat, and I'm in the gym. So, and then after that, to whatever's on the plan for the day. That's how that works every day.
Are you still doing your stretching? Because you've got
every
2
night.
hours of...
Every night.
2 hours of meditation,
Mm-hmm.
90 minutes to 2 hours of running.
Mm-hmm.
How long's the gym session?
Depends, 45 to an hour and a half.
Stretching, meditation, run, eat, gym. What?
Is there something I'm missing, Jennifer? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Forgot about that.
You cycle as well?
Yeah.
How long are you cycling?
It just depends. I do stationary bike right now a lot.
Uh-huh. What are you using? Is it like a watt bike or something similar?
Yeah, something similar.
Yep.
So I put my bike on a like trainer, and I cycle.
Yep.
At least 3 or 4 days a week, I'll do that. So
that's your day. There is no room for anything else.
Yeah, there is a lot of room. So there's 24 hours, and I use it all pretty well.
How's your sleep? What's your sleep like?
It's really good.
Okay.
It
You're
is
getting
now.
8 hours-ish, something like that?
7-8 hours. Yeah.
Well, you'd need to with this sort of volume.
7-8 hours.
And you're still doing your stretching stuff?
Every night.
So you've got a 4-hour block, basically, of stretching and meditation?
Well, no, that's all in one block.
You combine the two, right?
Yeah, that's all in one block.
Cool.
Yep.
That's one hell of a day.
It is, and it's been like that for 7 years.
You already know what to do. You've known it for years. But comfort's got you by the throat. Every excuse, every lie you whisper to yourself, it's all the same trap. And then there's that voice, that other voice, the one that says, hey, what the fuck are you doing? Get off the couch, put down the phone, quit pretending. You think you need a mentor? You think you need a morning routine or some life hack? No, you need a war plan. You need a mirror. You need to hear yourself say out loud, I've become soft, lazy, undisciplined, and I'm the problem. That's where it begins. Because if you're waiting for a savior, someone to hold your hand, that person ain't coming. No one's bringing you discipline. No one's installing belief in your system. If you've ever been at rock bottom, wiping your own ass with shame, begging life to throw you a break,
you're a fat piece of shit, and that's the reality of it. So you have to create a false reality to live in that just to get to work on yourself. That's the reality. Because what I've done is in the unseen work, I built Frankenstein. So whenever shit gets nasty, David Goggins goes, you had nobody anyway, mother. So see how I'm talking myself right now? That's me. That shit fires me up. That shit makes me, you had nobody anyway, mother, around you. There was no team. It was you. There was no weight loss program or mom and dad waking you up saying you can do it, you can be better, trying to build belief. You built belief when you had nothing. Rock bottom. You did that. So as times get hard for me, the truth comes out. And my truth is powerful as it's real. It's tangible. I feel it. It comes out of my brain as I speak about it. I'm reliving every single dark moment of my life to be here. So that is what people don't get. That is what motivates David Goggins, is the unseen work. But everybody needs that pat on the back. They need that training partner. They need that accountability coach. I don't need that shit. And neither do they. But it's what we've trained ourselves to believe that we need. You're not looking at the truth in front of you. The truth in front of you is it sucks. It's painful. It's mind-numbing. And that is the truth. And that's why a lot of people don't like listening to me. Because this is what it takes. Creating another voice and sometimes going at it alone. All the time going at it alone because no one's going to believe in you. And that's that.
this ain't you, bro. That's the line that saves lives. That's the voice that rips off the mask and dares you to become something more. So let me ask you, when you're gone, when it's all over, and God or the universe shows you that chart of who you could have been, will you recognize the man on that paper? Or will you look back and whisper, "Damn, I could have been him"? You don't need a hack. You don't need a hero. You need to start listening to that voice again. The one that tells you, get up, shut up, show up. This ain't who you were meant to be. You weren't born to break. You were born to become. That voice, it's not your enemy. It's the only part of you still fighting. So the next time it whispers, "This ain't you, bro," don't run. Follow it.
I had to stop giving about people. That was the biggest thing. I had to stop caring what people thought about me. I realized that everybody's fine. That's the one thing I realized. I walked around and I put these people on a fucking pedestal. Everybody was better than me. So I can't tell you anything about me because you're going to judge me and I'm going to feel even worse than what I am. What I realized, once I calmed my mind down and sat back and looked at how jacked up this world is, once you realize that you are not alone, everybody that's talking to you about how jacked up you are, only thing they've done better than you is they've hidden their world better than you have. That's all they've done. So once I realized that, if you want to sit back, like for instance, there's all these things that are on TV and we have all these news people judging people who've been life. And yeah, they made big mistakes. But that person who is judging you on TV, I guarantee you that news person and say, "I'm glad that my shit didn't come out, but I'm going to judge the hell out of you." I know that about people. So if you want to sit back and judge how jacked up I was and how messed up my life was, Merry Christmas, go for it. Have a good time. But I'm smiling at you right now, knowing you have a secret that you're not willing to share. It gives you a lot of power when you're able to go on a podcast this big and say, "Hey, tell me, I'll tell you anything you want to know. I no longer care. And that is a lot of power in that. To be able to put your life on a billboard for the whole world to see and say, judge it, man. Judge it. Like just me talking about it makes me feel good. And that's another thing about it. When you are willing to talk about how jacked up you are, the strength, that big rock that you carry, it just starts to come off you. It just starts to come off. That's why I do it so often. I'm like, hey man, I'll tell you anything you want to know. I'm tired of being afraid. I'm tired of not telling you shit. I'm tired of lying about how good I'm not. We tend to do the things that are easy. And that is it builds no mental toughness. It builds no mental hardening. It builds nothing.
You ever feel it? That whisper in the dark, that quiet voice inside your head saying, this ain't you, bro. That voice doesn't lie. It knows every excuse you made. It knows every day you hit snooze, every mirror you avoided, every goal you gave up on, and it still believes in you more than you do. See, your comfort will always beg you to stay soft. But that voice drags you toward the pain, toward the truth, toward the version of you that was written on your soul before the world broke you. Most people drown it out. They let life sedate them. Likes, distractions, numb comfort. But you heard it. And even if you didn't want to listen, you knew. The answers are over there, in that dark corner, where no one claps, where no one sees.
When you work out, working out is where you can build that the fastest. Because it's a constant, it gives you instant feedback. You may not lose the weight you want to real fast, but the discipline it takes, it transfers over to all aspects of your life. It's not people, man, why are you always working out? Stop looking at it that way. This is the foundation of life. When you look in the mirror, every morning we all look in the mirror to get ready to go to work, to go anywhere. The first thing you see is your reflection. If you don't like what you see in the morning, you lost the war already. It's not about even liking what you see. It's about looking in the mirror and you may start, man, I feel different. That reflection is not everything. It's a feeling you're supposed to get. So you have to, in life, once you leave your house, the war begins. In your house, you have some control. And that reflection in that mirror, you have to control that reflection in the mirror. That's how you start your day. If you leave your house feeling like, okay, I can fight. I've established the mentality to fight. And that all that comes from working out. It's not just from, you can't find that in the office.
People will call you obsessed. They'll say you're extreme. They won't understand why you're at the gym after 13 hours of hell. Good. That means you're doing it right. Real greatness is remembering every shot you missed, every time you held back, and being haunted enough to never let that happen again. You're not training for today. You're training for when life punches you in the face. You're callousing your mind so when the 2 a.m. call comes, you don't fall apart. And if you're still waiting for motivation, stop. There are no hacks. There's no savior coming. There's just you, your pain, your fear, your choices, and your purpose. Oh, wake the hell up! There's no soft version of this. No shortcut. No pity. No reset button. It's you versus you. Every second. Every decision. Every day. And if you don't like that fire inside, nobody's going to do it for you. So shut off the noise. Kill the excuses. Get up. Disappear for 6 months. And make your demons choke on your discipline.
There's a lot of them out there. But most of them are that way for one big reason. They can't see themselves doing it. They can't see themselves doing it. It's one big reason. The other reason is a lot of it is jealousy. When you set these humongous goals and they see that you're getting at it, let's say, for instance, we have a family. Let's say we're all a big family here. All 3 of us, all 4 of us are a big family. And every morning I'm getting up training for a 200-mile run. And you see me get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and all you are sleeping. And by the time I get done running my 30, I come home just getting up. How are you going to feel about yourself? A lot of times when you're an overachiever and you have people, that's what I talk about the mediocrity thing. A lot of our family members, a lot of our friends, they're mediocre. And there's always those couple of guys who are uncommon, who want to be better. But you make that mediocre mother feel like shit. Whether it's your mom, your dad, whoever. You make them feel horrible. I've been there. I'm speaking from experience. When you get somebody around you, man, who's trying to be better and you don't have the drive that they have, it's a constant reminder of how up you are. You have to know that that's what it is. Anybody in your course not saying, man, get after it, brother, I'm so proud of you, they have a problem with themselves. Because all you're trying to do is achieve more. If that's a problem for somebody, you have to look at them and say, man, you really have a problem with yourself, huh? It's much deeper than what you think.
Right.
It lies deep in your soul. How
You want the truth? Then sit down, because this isn't a highlight reel. This is the raw footage. Unfiltered, uncomfortable, undeniable. You're gonna be unhappy sometimes. You're gonna feel lost, weak, screwed up. That's human. But the power starts the moment you say, who am I really? What do I actually want from this life? Why am I afraid to admit the truth? Until you're honest with yourself, you're faking progress. See, people love the planning phase because it's safe. But execution? That's where dreams die. That's where you meet failure. And most people quit there, because that's when it gets real. You want to get better? You're gonna have to go to war with yourself. Over and over. Run when no one's watching. Lift when your soul is tired. Study when your brain is broken. Work when it's boring. And fight when your spirit says stop. Not once, every damn day. You don't get the dopamine from likes. You get it from doing the work in the dark. 2 a.m. runs, empty gyms, no applause, no validation. Just you in the mirror, fighting for belief. You say you want change, but when that alarm goes off, you roll over. You say you want discipline, but when it's time to suffer, you make excuses. You'll never change your life until you say, I don't care how I feel. This gets done. You don't need a plan, you need a mirror. And you need to dominate the voice that's killing your potential. The voice that says you've done enough. You deserve this break. Start Monday. You're not like them. It's too late, it's too hard. Lies. That voice isn't your friend. That voice is the enemy. Real growth, it lives in the places you hate, in the workouts you don't want to do, in the skills you think you're too dumb to learn, in the reps you want to skip, in the fear you won't face. And when your mind says quit, you say, because you said that, we're going double today. You don't need a new plan. You need to stop negotiating with weakness. You don't need a new gym. You need to show up in the one you already pay for. You don't need a new life. You need to master the one you're in. Be the one, not the 9, not the 80, not the 90 who spend their life wondering what could have been. Your alarm is your battlefield. Your mind is your opponent. Your standard is your sword. And discipline is how you win. Now go suffer and grow and suffer more until the weak voice dies and the warrior takes his place. When that alarm hits at 4 a.m., your mind says, no, it's too early, it's too cold, you deserve to rest. That's the moment you say, this is what we do now. You override your feelings, because success doesn't care about your emotions. Discipline doesn't negotiate. The truth, you'll do 100 things you hate before you get one thing you love. That's the real price. And if you're not willing to pay it, you don't want it badly enough. Most people are targets. They show up to life unarmed. They're reactive, lazy, entitled. Out of 100, 10 shouldn't even be here. 80 are average. 9 do the real fighting. But only 1 becomes the warrior. And if you want to be that one, you have to live like no one else is willing to live. Life is hard either way. Broke is hard. Success is hard. Choose your hard. Choose the pain of discipline over the pain of regret. You've got 2% energy, the urgency of the elite who move fast. Act now and don't wait for perfect. The fear of staying stuck, miserable, and unfulfilled should scare you more than any risk. Change is scary, sure. Things might get worse before they get better. But that's the lonely chapter every winner goes through. You're not alone in that struggle. You're just ahead of the pack. So go all in. Be selfish with your time, your energy, your dreams. Put your oxygen mask on first. Get strong. Stack your money. Crush your goals. In 5 years, you could be unrecognizable, living a life others can't even dream of. If you want it bad enough, you'll fight for it, day and night, through sweat, fear, and opposition. Develop the quality of being unstoppable. When life falls apart, when the rent's late, When everyone's against you, stand up and say, "Nothing will stop me." Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's acting despite it. Start today, take one step, then another. Don't wait for permission or the right moment. Go after your dreams with every bit of strength, faith, and grit you've got. Disappear, rebuild, and come back to show the world what's possible. You're not here to just exist. You're here to win. Let's go.